Thank you. It's a great day. It's nice to see you guys. And we all wonder, what does the future look like? Well, we're going to find out right now. We're going to look at the future of Defiance, a very special show, a very special game, a very special moment in entertainment. We have a big cast, so I'm going to bring them all out here, and then we're going to go down the line and meet everybody. But let's give one big ovation for Defiance. Hey, how are you? All right, we're going to go down the list. Right here we have Grant Bowler, Julie Benz, yes, Stephanie Leonidas. Say hi to Tony Curran. We have Jamie Murray, Mia Kirchner. We have Kevin Murphy. We have Nick Belayev. We have Rob Hill and Mark Stern. Now we're going to tell you who all these people are as we go along, but again, we want to make sure everybody gets a chance to talk, so we're just going to jump right in it. You know, we have video games and we have television shows, and we have video games based on television shows and television shows based on video games, but this is none of those things. It's all of those things and something very, very special beyond that. Down there, Nick is the Senior Vice President of Development for Tryon. How you doing? Nick, I saw you a couple years ago, and you tried to explain to me what this was going to be, and it was very exciting then. It's even more exciting now. What is this?
It is crazy ambitious and crazy fun all wrapped into one. I think that, you know, really what we've tried in the working with Sci-Fi the last 4 years, putting this together, is trying to find a new way to define entertainment and the interactivity between games and the show. And the thing I think that's so exciting about Defiance for all of us is the broad IP, is we've really created something that's big enough and broad enough that a television show can go and have, be an absolute hit, and it's got enough space, and the game also has enough space to do everything it needs to do creatively and fun without making any compromise whatsoever. And I think that's really the key thing, is we don't have to make compromises. They don't have to make decisions to kowtow to the game. We don't have to make decisions to kowtow to the show. It's all about the quality of the experience that we each offer, and oh, by the way, they affect each other.
Yeah, and Mark, tell us a little bit about that interaction aspect.
Wow. Okay, first of all, this is like the coolest show. I have to say, we've been working on it for at least 4 years, and it is the holy grail to try to do a show that, and a series and a game that intermesh, and one is not derivative of the other. It's almost impossible. But, and the scope of this is, you'll see it when you see the promo, it is phenomenal. I would say, not since Battlestar have we done anything really this ambitious. It's the biggest thing we've done since. Not to oversell it or anything. So now that I've totally screwed that, what's really great about it, though, is you'll see as you get into the series, is that Kevin and the writers have been working hand in hand with the game developers to make sure that the world is the same, the creatures, the aliens, the flora and the fauna are all the same, but also the narrative elements, the story elements, they all interrelate to each other. So if you can watch the series and not know anything about the game, but if you know about both, you're just getting that much more of a richer experience. It's really phenomenal.
So Kevin, Sci-Fi has a tradition. I mean, obviously Battlestar was mentioned of telling great stories. This feels like it has a real frontier element to it, and sort of different cultures coming together. Can you talk a little bit about that?
That's exactly right. This is a frontier drama. It's a melting pot drama. It's immigrant stories, and it's certainly frontier in the sense that it's stories about big primal human emotions that you would not be out of place in an old classic John Ford Western. There's stories about honor, about betrayal, about loyalty, about coming together and standing up and fighting for something that's bigger than yourself. It's very, very aspirational, and I'm like probably the most giant Battlestar fan there is.
Yeah.
But we really tried to take things in a very, very different direction. This is a very optimistic. It's sort of the antithesis of dystopian science fiction, which This is about people coming together. It's about aliens who came here looking for a home on their boats. There were 7 fractious species of aliens who didn't necessarily get along on the home planet. They were forced together, big marriage of convenience. There were indigenous people in the world when they got here, human beings, and they're making a go of it, even though a big disaster has kind of plowed under much of the planet Earth. And this is science fiction for people who want to feel good and feel inspired.
So we're the indigenous people. That doesn't usually go well.
Well, in this case, the indigenous people are the humans, and they don't require expensive prosthetics and makeup effects.
Oh.
So I really like their chances for survival in this new world.
Our species is relieved. Now, we've seen the landscape. We've heard a little bit about the concept. Let's meet the people that are going to fill that landscape. Grant, how are you?
Good. How are you all?
Well, we're going to go down, and if we could, with each of you guys, maybe tell us a little bit about, every role is a challenge and an opportunity. Things, maybe a little bit about your character and sort of what you've circled in your mind is what you're excited about, particularly with your character.
Sure. I'm Grant Bowler. I play Nolan. I get the privilege of kicking off the game when you start looking at the game early in 2013, and then we all roll into the show. What I'm most excited about in terms of Defiance is, for the first time, we've created a real synergy. This is a genuine new media. You can play the game, you can watch the show, and these two worlds, although you can have an authentic, complete experience just viewing the show or just playing the game, if you do both, it enriches itself. So we're really excited about the viewers of the show, and we're really excited about the gamers out there, but for the first time ever, you're going to get to be both. You're going to get to be a viewer and a gamer, and for those gamers out there, if you do well enough, the word is you influence the world, not only of the game, but of the show. Personally, when it comes to Defiance, I get to play a redneck scavenger, so it's pretty much going home for me and taking my shoes off. I'm looking forward to what all you think, and I'll pass it over to Julie.
I'm Julie Benz. I play Amanda. I play Amanda Rosewater, and I am the newly appointed mayor of Defiance. And my job is to try to keep all these 8 races living in Defiance at peace with each other. And I'm in a little bit over my head.
You are indeed.
Your character. And me.
I'm Stephanie Leonidas, and I play Arissa, who's one of the aliens. I have the prosthetic, so I hope he doesn't kill me off. But
You're not going anywhere.
But yeah, I'm an Arathian alien. There are many species of alien in Defiance, and I travel. You meet me with Nolan. He's kind of my father figure. Not biologically, he's human. I'm alien. But yeah, we have a real father-daughter relationship. It's quite rocky at times, but we're fiercely loyal towards each other. And yeah, it's father-daughter with knives and weapons, which is great. So yeah, we've been having fun.
Hello, everybody. My name's Tony Curran. I play Daytak Tar. Thank you. Daytak is from, you might say, a very sort of working class, low caste background, and he's upwardly mobile. You might say he's an uncompromising individual who will do pretty much anything to get what he wants. If anybody stands in their way, they better get out of his way. But I cannot do this on my own. A lot of the help that I get is from my beautiful wife that I met on the Ark coming from our planet, which is played by my beautiful co-star and wife, Jamie Murray, who plays Stamatar. Now, the both of us together within the world of Defiance are most definitely a force to be reckoned with. This sort of in the underbelly of Defiance, you might say. There's a lot of racketeering going on. Don't want to say too much, but Daytak is a man that when he wants something, he usually gets it with a little help from his beautiful wife.
Hello, my name is Jamie Murray, and I play Stamatar. We have Castathians. I play an alien. And we're a very noble and graceful race. And it was really interesting playing this part because it really kind of forced me to think, I wanted this character to be relatable, but I wanted, her to have this otherness to make her alien. So it kind of really forced us to think about, what it is that makes you human. And I really feel like as a storyteller, it's really exciting to get the chance to look at humanity through a totally new perspective and through the eyes of an alien. So that's been a lot of fun.
My name is Mia Kirshner, and I play Julie Benz's, Amanda's sister, and I play a character named Kenya, and I run a brothel. I am the town madam, and the club is called the Need Want, which is basically a place that should push every sexual fantasy you have. And it's also a place for that she believes that sex is love, and through sex you find peace, and this character is overflowing with love.
I didn't realize it was that kind of game.
Can't play that in the game, though. It's got nothing to do with it was.
So, Nick, we were talking about, we've been hearing a lot about how it's going to interact. Give us a sense of, what that means to the fans. Is there a specific example that you could give that would give us an outline of that?
Sure. I think Grant made a little bit of reference to that at the beginning. Is the game starts a little bit before the show, and one of the things the players do at the beginning is they do missions with Nolan and Narissa in San Francisco, where the game's set. And as the players go through these, ever-hardening sets of missions, they end up liberating this, what was the word he used for it? Like Guga this morning?
A what's this?
A what's this, yes. A what's this from a different alien, and then them being a little bit of scoundrels, they end up running away with it from the players as well. And so the last thing the players see are Grant and Narissa leaving the game in a vehicle, getting as fast out of San Francisco as possible because they've got some hot goods. And then they roll over and we pass them over to the show.
So then they come into the TV show, and then they become obviously the two of the characters in our show, and then that sort of handoff keeps happening throughout the course of season one and beyond. We'll be introducing characters who will start off, we'll have like big parts in the TV show. They'll then go and become big players in the game. There'll be an opportunity for people in the game to enact, I don't want to give any spoilers, but to take action that will end up boomeranging back and having a substantive impact on what's going on in the plot of the TV show. And that's aside from the fact that it's a shared world, a shared universe. Like you can read Superman comics, you can read Batman comics, and what's going on in Gotham City doesn't always impact what goes on in Metropolis, but every now and then you do your big crossover events, you do World's Finest, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and I think the big thing that we like is if all you've done is watch the show and you see Noel and Narissa come in and they're clearly on the run and they've got hot goods in the car and all that stuff, enough that you're in for this, frenetic ride and fast-paced action, and it's this great setting. Well, if you've also played the game, now all of a sudden you have this depth of backstory, and you have, sort of this extra knowledge and sort of insider's knowledge of what's going on, and we think really that's the additive nature of the game and the show, and it's really, we have this one great big universe, and there's two different ways that you can get in. You can get in from the game, you can get in the show. We don't care which one you get in, please come in.
And just before we move on, the key is, if you haven't kind of discovered the concept of Defiance, the world is the world and it exists all together in real time. The show takes place in St. Louis. The game takes place in San Francisco. So that's how the basic premise of how we have the crossover and how we have the simultaneous world between the two.